people think that salicylic acid just dries out pimples, but that's not actually how it works. And if you've been using it the wrong way, you may actually be making your acne worse without even knowing it. Today I'm going to break down how salicylic acid actually works, who it works best for, and how to actually use it for best results. Hey friends, I'm Elizabeth Steffen, licensed esthetician, acne specialist, and founder of Vanilla Sugar Face and Body. I've got over 20 years experience working with people, helping them with their skin get clear and giving them that amazing glow. And why? Because I'm an acne sufferer myself, and I found passion in helping other people who suffer from the same skin condition that I have had my whole life. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about why salicylic acid is one of my favorite ingredients for helping people get clear from their acne. So what is salicylic acid? Salicylic acid is a beta hydroxy acid. Sometimes people will just abbreviate it BHA, and it's an oil-soluble ingredient that gets inside the pores and dissolves oil. So what does that actually mean for you? It means that it can clean out the inside of a pore, reduce blackheads, reduce inflammation, and help get acne clear. So how does salicylic acid truly help clear acne? Well, the first thing to know is that it slides inside the pore and dissolves the oil inside the pore. So what does that actually look like? It's like a janitor going in and cleaning out the closet. When things get trapped inside the pore, trapped inside of a closet, what starts happening? It starts overflowing and filling up. A pore can start stretching, and dead skin cells are going to get trapped in there. So what this salicylic acid does is it's going to dissolve that oil, like that glue that is binding all those dead skin cells together. So it's going to start breaking up that stuff and expelling itself through that pore gently over time. Salicylic acid is also an anti-inflammatory product. I don't really know the true science of salicylic acid compared to aspirin. So salicylic acid is derived from the willow bark or aspirin, and it kind of thins things out. You know, aspirin can kind of thin out blood a little bit. People use it as a blood thinner. It's not going to thin out the blood on the face, but salicylic acid is definitely an anti-inflammatory, and that is something else that aspirin does. It's going to help bring down some inflammation in the body. But salicylic acid is a topical product that's going to bring down inflammation inside the pore itself. It is also going to help prevent new breakouts. So when you are using salicylic acid regularly, we have already spent that time cleaning out the pore. Now it's going to help keep those pores clean and reduce new breakouts from happening. So it's not necessarily a one-stop shop thing. You can't just go out and get a salicylic acid peel and think that your skin is going to stay clear afterwards. It's an ongoing process to keep those pores nice and clean, so new dead skin cells are not having the chance to become infected inside the skin. Who is salicylic acid good for? Honestly, it's good for so many people who have acne and who also don't have acne. But we're going to focus a little bit more just on acne today. The first person would be somebody with oily skin, somebody who just produces a lot of oil. When I was younger, I was extremely oily and I had a lot of non-inflamed acne. And when I discovered the ingredient salicylic acid, it actually cleared my skin for the most part of all my acne. I didn't even have to go on some of the harsher ingredients because with low dosing salicylic acid on my skin, it finally had the opportunity to start clearing because I didn't have all that congested issues going on inside my pores. It is good for people who have blackheads or whiteheads. Blackheads are an open comedome where the pore is actually open. You see a little black at the end of the pore, at the surface of your skin. And what that black is, it's actually oxidized debris. A whitehead has a covering over it. The skin covers over it, so it's still white on the inside. But essentially, a blackhead and whitehead is the exact same thing. One just has an open pore and one just has a closed pore. Salicylic acid is also good for people who just have congestion in the skin. So if you don't know if you have a whitehead or blackhead, but you're feeling bumps on the skin, it's probably gonna be good for you. Why? Because over time, it's going to dissolve those pores and help flatten them back out again. It's also really great for people who have maskne. Maskne is a condition caused by wearing a mask over the face. I see it a lot in my nurses and medical professionals that come into my business. And they have a lot of inflammation. They don't have oxygen getting into their skin because they're covering it all up and they're breathing that carbon dioxide back right onto their skin. So their skin doesn't have time to properly breathe. Maskne can also be caused by irritation of the mask rubbing on the skin. But nonetheless, the skin doesn't have a chance to breathe. So people who have maskne that come into my business, I'm like, hey, get on my Rescue and Repair Serum. It's got niacinamide, salicylic, it's got a little retinol in it. It's really good for calming the skin from the rubbing and also calming the inflammation. So niacinamide and salicylic acid are also anti-inflammatory and can clean out inside the pores. So if you've got maskne, salicylic acid can really be a great part of your home care regimen. Teenagers are also great people who usually respond very well to salicylic acid. Teen acne tends to have a lot going on with them. I usually see non-inflamed acne, inflamed acne. I usually see folliculitis, melastasea, which is a yeast infection, and all these different types of acne respond really well to salicylic acid because it's anti-inflammatory. You want to calm that skin and cleans out inside the pores. So who else is salicylic acid good for? Honestly, it's good for so many people who just feel rough skin texture. We often can't see what's going on in the skin with our own eyes. When I'm working in my treatment room, I have big magnifiers, like 3.25% plus, that I use to really see inside people's skin. And I'm using bright lights as well. And I see all kinds of things going on with people. Like, it's incredible what I can see when I put my magnifiers on versus what I can even see in the mirror or see looking directly at somebody. So people who have really bumpy skin, but you don't know what's going on, salicylic acid may be a really good ingredient for you to check out. How do you actually use salicylic acid correctly? Wow. Okay, this is actually a really long answer. It could be a really long answer. It can be used in so many different ways. You could go get a professional salicylic acid peel, and those are incredible. We do them at our spa. The results usually last quite a while. But there's less aggressive ways to use salicylic acid. And I usually recommend starting with a cleanser, a salicylic acid-based cleanser. Now I have two cleansers that have a salicylic and glycolic base to them because I like to exfoliate the surface of the skin too. This is a wonderful product because soap actually attracts oil and pulls it. And not only does it pull it, soap with salicylic acid is actually going to dissolve that oil even stronger and pull it out even more aggressively, but it's not aggressive. I'm talking like on a microscopic level here. So with my cleansers, I can usually get my clients using a salicylic acid cleanser twice a day. Some people who are maybe ultra sensitive may only want to use it once a day, but I'll be honest with you, people that come to me who have ultra sensitive skin can usually use these cleansers twice a day. And the reason why is because it's a very low dose and it's also being rinsed off the face. So it's working over time in a very slow method to start cleaning out the pores in one of the most gentlest of ways, which makes it great for people with sensitive skin. If you don't have sensitive skin and you have a lot of non-inflamed acne, whiteheads and blackheads, sometimes using a serum is a great way to go about it. Now, I usually recommend about a 1 or 2% solution in your serum. And the reason why it's any stronger than that is it can be very aggressive on the skin and it can really burn. It's almost turning into like a salicylic acid peel. Now, peels can be buffered so the pH is raised so you don't feel as much burning. That's a whole other topic right there. But generally looking for a low dose salicylic acid serum is a wonderful alternative to using a cleanser. I usually recommend using the serum about every other day or every third day to get used to it. You don't want to necessarily use it every single day because it might just be too strong. It may start burning on you. So giving your skin time to adapt to it is really going to be ideal. So you could use it 2 or 3 times a week, or you could use it every other day. Something else that you want to really make sure you're taking care of is the hydration levels of your skin. If you're using salicylic acid, it's going to dry out the skin in just a little bit because that's what it does. It's going to clean out the pores and dry them out just a little bit. So you want to make sure that you're using things with hyaluronic acid, non-comedogenic oils. Generally that's going to be like jojoba oil, grapeseed oil isn't too bad for acne, sunflower oil is not too bad. Some people with non-inflamed acne can definitely still react to all of these oils, but if you need hydration, absolutely need hydration, these are the oils that I recommend that you're using in your home care routine. You also really want to be careful what other products you're using too. If you're cocktailing too many products, you can be getting really aggressive with your skin. I am all about skin barrier health, which means we want to keep that skin balanced with hydration, inflammation down, as well as being able to do the things that we need to do to clean out the pores. And lastly, you absolutely want to be consistent. You can't go to the gym once and think you're going to lose 20 pounds. I wish that was the case, but it's not. It's the same thing with skincare. When you're starting a program, so I have a whole acne coaching program that I do, details in the description. But when I'm working with people on my acne program, I have them on multiple different products with different active ingredients. But I like to start everything off at really low doses and slowly build people up. But the trick is you absolutely have to be consistent every single day with your home care. You got to be washing your face every day. So if I have you on a salicylic acid cleanser, you need to be using it every day, unless if you're having reactions to it, then maybe every other day. But consistency is truly key to getting your skin clear. So what are some of the biggest mistakes that people are doing when they're using salicylic acid? The first is using way too strong of a product. I sell a product called Acne Peel. It's got a 5% salicylic acid solution. If somebody just came up and bought that product and started using it 3 times a week, I'm gonna be like, whoa, 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 whoa. That's gonna probably be way too much. I do see a lot of people going to extremes with their skincare because they think that's what they need, but that's really not the case. So remember, starting off at low dosages is really a beautiful way to start clearing up the skin without compromising the skin barrier. The next thing is hydration. You need to stay hydrated, but you also have to be using the right kind of moisturizers. The right kind of moisturizers for acne is kind of complicated. In my business, getting the right moisturizer right for my clients is like the hardest thing that we do. And the reason why is because people are so sensitive to oils. People with acne or congestion in their skin will definitely have more reactions to oil-based moisturizers. So there are a lot of hyaluronic acid based serums. I usually love layering that stuff up for my clients, and then low comedogenic oil-based moisturizers. Another common mistake is that people stop using the products too soon. It didn't work. I hear this all the time. I've done everything. Well, it's interesting because when I hear that, people are coming in to see me and I just tell them, I go, you haven't tried what I'm going to do yet. And honestly, it has made the world of a difference for hundreds of my clients, and it can for you too. So it's really important to not give up and be consistent with how you're actually supposed to be using your products. Another thing that people do is they're going to start scrubbing their face. So if you're using salicylic acid and still scrubbing your face with something, it probably isn't going to be great for your skin barrier. And your skin's probably going to feel irritated and it's very sensitive, and it can change at any time too. So even if you're not feeling irritated or sensitive right now, you can later on. It happens all the time. Another common mistake that I see people do is spot treating with salicylic acid. If you're prone to breakouts in all over your face, or even like a whole section, let's just say like right down in here, if you're just spot treating where the current breakouts are coming up, what about the new breakouts forming? So generally when people are using salicylic acid, I'm gonna have them use it all over their face. You might be able to skip certain areas, like maybe, definitely around the eyes. Most people don't have acne there, or maybe your forehead. But if you have large pores or congestion or blackheads, like small little blackheads on your forehead, still using salicylic acid could really benefit that and start clearing that out. And overall, you're gonna have a clearer complexion. What can you pair salicylic acid with? Salicylic acid pairs beautifully with so many other ingredients. Glycolic acid. I love these two together. Glycolic acid is an alpha hydroxy acid. It's a water-based product, and it will generally exfoliate the surface of the skin, while salicylic acid is going to exfoliate inside the pore. It also pairs up great with benzoyl peroxide. Benzoyl peroxide will also bring down the inflammation of cystic acne and kill that bacteria inside the pore. So the salicylic acid is going to clean out the oil inside the pore, the glue, the bonding agent, and the benzoyl peroxide is going to kill the bacteria. So you're going to get pretty fast results if you're combining the two and using them correctly, by the way. Niacinamide is also a wonderful ingredient to use with salicylic acid. It's an anti-inflammatory ingredient, and it's going to help just calm down that skin, because I'm telling you, acne is angry. And we want to keep that skin as calm and hydrated as possible. So niacinamide is a nice little boost to go with salicylic acid. Mandelic acid is also a wonderful alpha hydroxy ingredient that goes great with salicylic acid. Mandelic acid is also going to exfoliate the surface of the skin, and it's also going to eat up yeast that's on the skin. So it works very symbiotically with salicylic acid. You're also going to want to pair your salicylic acid up with hydrating ingredients, and you can also do some peptides. So if you're aging, which honestly we're all aging, peptides are wonderful anti-aging ingredients that can work really well with salicylic acid. And a lot of them are formulated in hydrating serums. So you could use a salicylic acid, then you can use a hydrating peptide serum on top of it, and they actually don't counter work with each other, so that's pretty good. Except for copper. Copper will react to salicylic acid, so you don't want to use copper peptide the same time of day that you're using salicylic acid. If you're serious about clearing acne, salicylic acid can be your new BFF. And when you're using it correctly, it's gonna really be a massive game changer in your skincare. If you're looking for more guidance on how to get clear, I do have a free secret video that you can click in the description below to get access to my first 2 weeks of how I actually work with my acne clients. It is a wonderful free resource. Of course, if you want to buy my products that go with it, great. But if you have your own, you can use those too. But how I get my clients clear is amazing. Like the results that we get is phenomenal. And the first 2 weeks are really the most critical weeks and the biggest changes that we actually see with getting our clients clear. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one.